This is the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, your number one source of information, education, and entertainment. For honest, responsible, and dependable information, we stand supreme. To stay focused, inspired, and relaxed, choose green.
Ekabo, and welcome to the Ifagbemiro Show. I would open by reading the Oriki, or the Iba rather. Open ni fun Olorun, Oludumare Oba Jiki, Mojiloni, Mowogun Meriaye, Iba Ila Orun, Iba Iwo Orun, Iba Ariwa, Iba Gusu, Iba Oba Igbalie, Iba Orun Oke, Iba Baba, Iba Yeye, Iba Atiwo Orun, Iba She Igungun, Kiki Igungun, Iba She Ori, Ori Ino, Ipori Atiwo Orun. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, well, today I want to discuss two different subjects on the show. So for us today, we're going to get actually two lessons. All right. These things I think are very important for us to know, right? One of them, we've studied it already, but I'm going to mention it again. And that is going to be, we're going to get into Orikis a little bit today. And the other subject we're going to discuss is going to be the role of Odu and the role of Eshu and the relationship between Eshu and Odu. All right. The first document I'm going to read that talks about the function of Oriki came from Awo Falokun Fatumbi. All right. The heading for this section is the function of Oriki. There is a Ifa Orisa proverb that says, once we have been initiated, we need to reinitiate ourselves every day. The fundamental step in the ongoing reinitiation process is to maintain daily connection with spirit. This is traditionally done through the recitation of morning Oriki. The word Oriki is from the Elysian Orikiki, meaning to praise consciousness. Ifa teaches that everything in the universe, from the smallest subatomic particle to the largest star, has consciousness, or Ori. The linguistic meaning of Kiki in Yoruba is to praise as a way of calling forth consciousness. When a word is repeated in the Yoruba as Kiki, it is a reference to the fundamental source or the spiritual inspiration from the single word. By saying Kiki, we are saying the word is a reference to the fundamental praise of the inner essence of a particular form of consciousness. The word Oriki in English can be translated to mean invocation. The purpose of doing morning Oriki is to start our day in alignment with our Ipori, which is our higher self, and to make connection with those Orisha who guide our destiny. The Prophet Orunmila taught that all spiritual forms of consciousness that exist in the universe exist in the Ori of an individual. This was an early expression of the scientific idea of living in a holographic universe. What this means in practical terms is that all forms of altered states of consciousness that are invoked in Ifa Orisa are a part of everyone's Ori. We cannot receive Orisha from another person. Orisha live in our consciousness and is a gift from Olorun, or the source of creation. When we initiate someone, we do not give them anything. We simply unlock that which is undiscovered. After reciting the daily Oriki, it is traditional to do a daily divination asking for guidance from the immortals. It is also traditional after doing daily Oriki to pray for good fortune for yourself, for your family, for your community, as well as the global village. To make the process manageable, daily Oriki include a prayer called Odaraji, meaning forgiveness. The Odaraji prayer is asking the immortals to excuse us from the daily obligation of making offerings so we can receive direct access to their guidance. The function of the daily Oriki is to invoke each of the spiritual forces we have received during the course of our spiritual journey. We make those invocations so we can maintain a higher level of sensitivity and connection with the spiritual forces we have chosen to guide our destiny. Once we have been initiated, we reinitiate ourselves daily. The daily recitation of Oriki, coupled with the daily consideration and critical self evaluation involved in divination, is the foundation of the reinitiation process. It is the heart and soul of Ifa Orisha spiritual discipline. All right. So that is going to be the end of that quotation from the function of Oriki. All right. And what this reading has made very clear is that we make a conscious effort to call forward the essential consciousness of our higher self so that we may be able to function at a high spiritual level in everything that we do. All right. Now, this I'm going to read now from another document where this gives the Ifa history according to the elders of Ode Remo. And in this document, it talks a little bit about Odu. It also speaks also concerning Eshu. All right. So again, most of the lessons that I do on this program are very basic Ifa uh, principles. All right. So let me go right into reading the document. Akoda and Asheda were the first two Awo to teach the doctrine of Ifa, which they learned from the prophet Orunmila. The elders of Ifa believe that they still receive instruction from the spirit of Orunmila. The first 16 Odu of Dafa are called Olodu, and they gave birth to the 240 sub branches of Ifa scripture that are known as Ika Ifa. The Odu are read from right to left. The right side is known as the male side, and the left side is known as the female side. They are read from right to left and top to bottom. They are always marked on the tray with the second and third finger of the right hand. Only those palm nuts that have 4, 5, and 6 eyes are considered Ekin, which are palm nuts normally used for divination. Ifa is the voice of Orunmila as they come through the mouth of the Babalawo while he is casting Dafa. There are two styles of Ifa. One for protection and the other one is for punishment. The right hand path is called Ifa Otun, which is for the service of the community. The right hand path, the powers of the Odu are used to invoke the spiritual forces that assist us in fulfilling our destiny, in overcoming problems related to spiritual transformation. Odu lives in all things, both animate and inanimate. When something dies, it is believed that the Odu has left the physical container or the Ori that housed the life force. Every Odu has a positive and a negative aspect. It is the task of the Babalao to determine the destiny of a person and to orientate the Odu to its positive aspect. That is why Orunmila is called Orunmila Oduduti Oduori Amare E Atun Ori Ti Sosun Se, which means Spirit of Destiny uses his wisdom to repair bad head. No human life remains in the negative side of an Odu. If it stays in the negative side too long, it either becomes transformed through an elevation in consciousness or the physical body passes and the transformation occurs in the invisible realm. Every Odu represents the complete circle of time, past, present, and future. Eshu Odara is the messenger of all the Odu. Eshu Odara came to earth from heaven at Ipelese Iwa in Ile-Ife. The proper name for this place is Oshetura. All Ebo that is taken to Oludumare must pass through the Odu Oshetura, which is why Eshu Odara is invoked by Ifa at the beginning of every Ebo. All right. So basically, those are the lessons for today. All right. We went into what the function of Oriki, and then we went a little bit into Ifa, teaching of Ifa, branches of Ifa, how to understand the permutation of an Odu. And last but not least, we spoke a little bit about Eshu Udara. All right. It is important for persons who view the stream who are interested in learning about Ifa Orisa that you find a qualified teacher. It's also important that you attend either a ile, a shrine, or a place where there is also regular teaching and educational opportunities where you could learn more about your tradition. As we know, every person who is born have ancestors because you are born to parents and they were born to parents and their parents were born to parents. So we all have ancestors. But it is important for everyone in identifying themselves and knowing who they are and their purpose here on earth, that they find out about their own lineage and tradition. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to present places, venues, and opportunities for further learning for persons who might or are interested in knowing more about Ifa Orisa. The African Indigenous Tradition Community have Ifa Orisa classes every Tuesday, 5 p.m. at the Barataria Community Center at 6th Avenue opposite the Recreation Ground. The African Indigenous Tradition Community is not the only place that offer Ifa Orisa education and teaching. There are shrines throughout the island of both Trinidad and Tobago where teaching takes place. So for individuals who are interested, feel free to either contact us on our social media platforms, message us on YouTube, or make any effort you could to reach out where we could direct you to the closest shrine or the closest ile, or even to a venue where there are classes so that you would have the opportunity to learn more. Okay, beside this program, which is the Ifagbemiro Show held every Wednesday at 5:30, we also have each Friday the Ifa Orisa Tradition Community Discussion Program at 6:30 p.m. We have on a Sunday the Traditional Herbal Health Show, 5 p.m. We have virtual classes in astrology every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Every Friday at 5 p.m. we have etymology classes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the various social media platform. Firstly, the Facebook platform, and then I would get into the YouTube channel that we have, which is the Ifagbemiro home of Ifa Orisa tradition, where you could actually view these videos and streams. You can view these streams on Facebook at the Ifa Orisa Tradition Discussion Group of Trinidad and Tobago, on the Grassroots Education and Entertainment Network, on the Ifagbemiro Home of Ifa Orisa Tradition, on the Ifa Orisa Community Congress, on the Ifa Orisa Tradition Teaching Group of TNT, on the Ifa Orisa Institute of Sacred and Divine Sciences, on the Traditional Herbal Health Network International, on the Orisa Baptist Small and Medium Business Alliance, on the Orisa Baptist Teaching Moments International, as well as on the African Indigenous Tradition Community. All right, it could also be viewed on the Ianti Diasporic Ventures Facebook page. All right, and I'm mentioning again, we also have a YouTube channel, which is called the Ifagbemiro Home of Ifa Orisa Tradition, where all of these streams are available for viewing. All right. With that, I would like to close the show off. I would like to thank you for taking the time off to learn, to study with us. And I would like to recommend you subscribe to our page on YouTube, like, as well as share the videos. All right, when this video is over, another video is going to come up. We would ask that you view that video also. All right, and with that, I would like to say Odabo and see you next week.